Hello everybody, I'm Dave Chaos and welcome to my review of the AVerMedia Live Gamer HD. This is an internal video capture card for PC, and as you can see we'll be having a look at what's in the box and how the software works. So let's start with what it says on the box. We've got basically it's a capture card which works via HDMI or DVI, and it also has what's called a hot button, and that's for basically starting a video recording on the fly. So you just tap the button and it'll record whatever's on the screen on your PC, which is quite nice. I've already had a go of this and it's a very nice piece of software. And we'll have a look what's in the box as well, so let's go ahead and do that. So here is the packaging. I've taken the outer packaging off so you can have a look at the funky box. If we just turn this, you can see it's very nice, well presented. You've got your logo on here, AVerMedia, and let's have a look what we get inside. So, like I say, it's very well presented. There it is. So here's your actual capture card, and here's the live button. So let's change the camera angle so you can see exactly what we're getting in here. Alright, so here it is. Let's start pulling this packaging apart. So that's just a piece of card, and then you've got a plastic protector right here which we'll just pull out as well. And again, here it is. Here's the capture device on its own, so let's take that out. And as you can see, you've got your HDMI out, HDMI in, you've got audio out and audio in. Now there's a reason for all these different plugs, which I'll show you in a little while. The card itself is quite neat, small. It's got a lovely black PCB, which is good if you've got like an exposed side to your PC. Instead of having like a green ugly card, you've got a nice black one there. Obviously it'd be mounted like this, so you're not really going to see this funky card, this funky plate on here, unfortunately. Let's strip that off so you can have a good look. There we go. It's really quite something, that. It's a very nice looking card. And as you can see, it says it's full HD 1080p, which is true, which is also extraordinarily handy. So let's just put that to one side for the moment, and we'll have a look at this little device. So let's pull this out and show you this little thing. Fiddly with the packaging. There we go. Alright, so this is literally just a button, and it plugs into a normal USB port, not to the card itself, and the software governs how this thing works. Let's just zoom in a little bit, get the focus right for you there, and there it is. And that just sits on your desk. It's got a rubber ring on the bottom so it doesn't slide around, and it lights up red, and it flashes in different ways to indicate what it's doing. When it's just on standby, it's constantly red. When it's filming, it flashes, so then you know that you're actually filming with the thing. And it's literally a case of just touching it like that, and that's it. It'll start recording. But obviously you've got to set it up with software here, which we'll, again, like I said earlier, we'll have a look at the software. So back in the box now, so you can see what you get with your package. You get your installation disc, but I always advise that you download the latest drivers straight from the AVerMedia website rather than using this disc. You also get this little card, which gives you a 3-month free trial to XSplit, because this works seamlessly with XSplit, which is fantastic, because that's would be my choice of live streaming, because you can live stream with this thing. So let's see what's in this little package here. I'll move that out of the way. Okay, so you get all the cables that you need for this to work. We're going to take that manual out as well so I can show you the different setups. So it tells you what you've got. So we should have Live Gamer HD, which is right there, quick installation guide, which is in our hand, the CD, the hot button, which we've got. We should have a DVI to HDMI adapter, which is right here. So that's good to see that that's actually there. Then we should have a HDMI cable. Yes, that's right there. Then we should have a HDMI to DVI cable, which is right here, and this is extraordinarily handy, this cable. And then we should, last but not least, have a 3.5mm audio cable, which is also right here. Now, the reason for this is for the way it sets up all these different cables. So if I just show you on this page, you can have it set up to record what's on your current PC. So if I just bring this in and focus it, just a little interruption there. Okay, so here is your PC, and this is the way I've set it up. So I've used the extension cable, which is this one from HDMI to DVI because I don't have HDMI plugs on my monitor, so that's why that cable is extraordinarily handy. Or you can go straight from DVI to DVI right there. And what you would do is you'd have your HDMI out or your DVI out on your graphics card, going into the HDMI in on the AVerMedia card, and then out again to your monitor. So basically you're running your graphics card through the through the AVerMedia capture card, and you need to do the same with the audio. So from your audio out to your audio in on the capture card, and back out again, so that you're capturing the audio from there. And of course you get another similar diagram like this for capturing console. But for this demonstration, for once, I'm going to do it for PC. But the console is just as simple. If you're using, say, an Xbox, it would literally be the HDMI from your Xbox to the HDMI in, and you swap your monitor around if you wanted to use your monitor for your console like I do. So that's a little bit simpler than the PC. I'm actually going to show you what it looks like on the back of my PC. So here's the card. I'm going to install the card into the PC itself, and then we'll have a look at this cable setup, and then we'll have a look at the software. Okay. Alright, so here we are, Spaghetti Junction behind my desk. It's crazy looking, isn't it? I know. But I'll make it simple for you. Here is my graphics card right here, and this is my HDMI out, and this is just the bundled cable. I left it bundled, and that goes in to the HDMI in on the AVerMedia capture card. Sorry about the wobbly camera, I've actually got it handheld. So there's the input on the AVerMedia capture card, and there's the output on my graphics card. And then we've got this cable which I was telling you about going to the monitor. So obviously I don't have a HDMI monitor, this is DVI, but this is the converter cable that they supply, which goes into HDMI, which is on HDMI out here. And then on my onboard sound, which is what I use, I've got this labelled to an output. So I think I'm using front speaker out or something like that, and that goes into this input here. And that's enough for me. I don't need the audio out on here because of the way I've got it set up with the software, which we'll have a look at now. So that might look messy, which it is because I've got a lot of cables coming out the back of my machine, but it is a simple case of out of your graphics, into the capture card, and back out the capture card for your video. So let's take a look at the software now. Okay, so here we are on my desktop. I'll try not to confuse myself because I'm actually using Fraps to record this when I could always use the AVerMedia, but of course because I'm editing with the AVerMedia, I'll just get confused and I'll probably end up ballsing up the recording. But here we go. So once you've installed the software, you go to the Start menu and you look for the AVerMedia and start that program, and you get this funky little graphical startup. The AVerMedia touch button actually flashes in funky different ways as well. But here we go. So you basically start with this bulletin tells you about updates and all the things that they've been doing. But the important stuff is here on the left hand side. So you've got capture. And this is for capturing PC or Xbox or PlayStation or whatever you've set up. For me, I've set it up for PC. So they've quite nicely given you different ways to do this. So you've got amateur, noob and pro. We're going to look at pro. But the amateur one gives you different ways of setting it up. So there's the amateur one, gives you a diagram of how to be plugging it all in, what you should be doing, or with your console like that, or another PC to another PC. But we're not doing that one. We're doing it as a pro because we want to do a more in-depth look at this. A noob is basically extraordinarily simple. Shows you how to do it. Let's see. Yes, so if we just click start on that, actually gives you a preview of what you're looking at, and it's all basic settings basically. That's how it's set up for noob. That's if you're not comfortable with setting all the different settings yourself, but that's what we're going to have a look at. So here we go, pro. So with the pro option, this gives you much more flexibility with what you can do with it. So as you can see, we want to set this to current PC because that's what we're recording. It's on the HDMI, so I select HDMI or DVI if it was on DVI. The audio again for me, I've got audio in because that's what I'm using, and I also want it to record external audio, so that's my microphone. And I want to save it as a separate MP3 rather than combine it, because if you combine it, if you come to edit it in your editing software, it actually combines your game audio with your voice audio. So it's a nice little touch that you can separate your voice audio. So for me, I would select my Samsung CO1 because that's my studio microphone, and of course I want it to capture when I click record, basically. So that's the audio setup. And then for your video settings, I would always suggest MP4 is in the right format for you already for YouTube, which is H.264, which is fantastic. You've also got TS, which is also in the right codec. But then you've got codecs resolution, and it uses your native graphics resolution. So whatever your graphics card can do resolution-wise, the AVerMedia can do it for you because it piggybacks on there. So as you can see, you've got all these different options, and I'm leaving it on 1920 1080 because why not? Then you've got your video bitrate. Now for me, I've got plenty of space on my hard drive, so I'm going to have the video bitrate on maximum so I can get the best quality out of the video. Same with the audio, 256 audio, and the FPS is your monitor's native FPS, so 30. You don't need any more than 30 because YouTube will only knock it down to 29.9 anyway. Anybody who tells you record more than that, it's pointless. You're only going to generate a larger file size, and when you give that to YouTube are going to knock it down to 30 frames. So you may as well always record in 30 frames. That doesn't mean you play your games in 30 frames per second. You record at 30 frames per second. Don't get the two mixed up. Okay, so now you've got hotkeys as well, and I use the home key for my hotkey. Don't ask why, I just do. But at the top you've also got profiles as well, and as you can see I've got Davecast filming PC because I've already been trying this out. I've already made videos with it. It's great. But we were just setting up the temporary file management there. So it says, let's say no to that. But temp modified, you would click save, it would remember what you've just done, and then you click ready. And that will minus down into your system tray and give you a little snapshot of what you've done. So it says your capture button is home, your audio is recording external, and you can take screenshots with F9. And that'll stay there minused. And if I wanted to record the screen now, I would just hit the record button. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire up a game, and we're going to make a recording with the AVerMedia using my microphone audio through the AVerMedia, and we'll transfer over to that so you can see the quality of this thing. Alright, so here we are. This is Bioshock Infinite, and this should be recording in 1080p. And there we go, you know, you're just looking for the quality of the game, quality of audio, should be fine. Let's fire off a few shots. It should sound good. I'm low on ammo apparently. Yeah. I'm really pleased with this. Uh-oh. Ooh, nearly fell off the edge then. Oh my goodness. It's okay, it doesn't matter. This isn't a save. But yeah, this should look perfectly fine to you, really. There should be no degradation. I don't know until it comes to the editing stage, personally,
Your
obviously.
surgery is tomorrow, you know. You better eat.
Fascinating. Well, this isn't a Let's Play, so yeah, let's go to the conclusion now. So now we've gone through the capture settings, let's have a look at the stream settings. Very similar to the way it was before, but you've got your amateur and noob settings and then your pro. And here we go. It's practically the same, so you go through the settings the way you want them to be. The only difference is now this is set up for streaming, so there's no like save any different. There isn't any save to certain places and all that sort of stuff. So once you've got it all set up, you would just click ready and save changes, OK, and then it would ask you to log in to whichever service you want to use. So there's your Twitch, whatever proxies you need to use. You know, you'd get this from your Twitch profile and then log in, and that would be it. But not just that, you can also use the capture device once you've set it up directly with XSplit. But this isn't an XSplit review, so we're not going to be looking at that. But the way it works is you would set up your stream profile and your capture profile. And once that's done and live and working, by clicking the ready button, which is also right there without going through all the settings, it will show up as a usable device underwear like your screen catchers and all that sort of thing, and it'll just work. So that's great. And the good thing about all of this is it takes away processing power from your PC itself, because the AVerMedia is doing all the process on its own. So it will take away issues with not having a very powerful machine, and doing like live streams and recordings and stuff like that. The AVerMedia device can do it all for you, so it's great for stuff like that. And of course, the last thing that you want to look at is the video folder, which is basically where it's saved to. So for me, I record to a different machine, and that goes into this folder here, which is just called Recorded Games. But that's where you set up in your Capture Pro, where you're going to put it, all that sort of stuff. So very simple. You've also got other settings up here. You've got these settings which tell you different indicators for if you're taking a snapshot, or if it's recording or not, all those sort of things. This is where where you want your files to be recorded to. So save to that folder, start up when your computer starts. Transparencies can change, like how transparent the logo is and all that sort of stuff. It's just a little something of nothing, that. So there we have it. That is the AVerMedia Live Gamer HD. It's been a pleasure to work with this thing. It's a very nice little device, and I've enjoyed it. It's been quite easy to use. It's got top quality. So I'm going to give this a Hardware Heaven Gold Award. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time.